See, we all focus on things, and we're not, I don't believe we're focused on things, but we don't know we're focused on things. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to be in charge and run the entire show of our life, just relax and let your divine presence play its magical self through you. Do we really want to be in control of every scene, script, plot, characters, and every single detail of the entire play? That's an insurmountable amount of work. Our job is much easier than this. We're here to enjoy this life fully. And then, people will say, well, how can I enjoy life when they're broke, right? Or they don't have enough money to do this or that. And you will not ever have enough by emitting those types of frequencies. Ask yourself a question. Do you believe that you can manifest anything? See how that feels and vibrates with you. Whatever it may be. Okay? Better body, healthier, different surroundings. The list is endless. So if we kind of just, it's difficult for us, but if we just let go, right? We loosen our grip on our director's chair and become a joyous spectator sitting way back in the crowd today. You're the one sitting way back. And you're just you chill out, you lean back your seat and enjoy the magnificent show. See, a lot of us we kind of, no, I can't, you say you can't let go of that, or no, I've got to know what's going on, I've got to be in control. That's material physical. Spiritual is, I'm just going to kick back and I'm going to just watch the show. We have different sources to assist us. Okay? Now, we can manifest them. But most of us really don't. I believe a lot of people don't believe that they exist. Whenever you're looking for assistance, how have you been programmed to be? Whenever you want to call in the Calvary to help you, right? It depends on how you're programmed. And when you ask, don't you believe that the first one that you go to is the God that you are within the body? What happens to people when they discover this, they lose their aloneness. They lose it. They don't feel alone. Because they're not. Because they're actually the God within the body, which is connected to all things. And you literally have dozens of souls watching you, making recommendations and trying to subliminally suggest things, and they're everywhere. But rely Here's the root of it. Rely on the God that you are. Rely on the God that you are. You are omnipotently supreme. You're an omnipotent supreme being who never dies. You're a manifesting machine. These things are all what you're made of. Truly. Not the body. And you could sit and focus anytime, anywhere, any place on your breath and just move into the heart-mind. It's a big difference between the head, the ego mind, and the heart-mind. The feeling that you experience. How do you build trust with yourself? How do you build trust? Confidence. Faith. With yourself. Now, you got archangels, you've got cherubim, you've got seraphims, you have ascended masters, because we are all them and they are all us. So you have all that. So when you speak to the God that you are in that body, you're speaking to trillions of gods. You're communicating with that much. Now, anybody that says they never, they don't feel like they're being helped or anything, that's the ego mind. We have so much assistance that it's almost ridiculous that we can call on at any time we choose. Our connection to vast, unlimited resources is through discovering the God that we are in the body. And when you want to talk, let's say, to someone who has left the body, do it through the God that you are. You'd be amazed on what happens. Do it. Don't do it through the ego mind. That just gets things miscombobulated. But the true key of the major discovery is to rely on you, the God that you are in that body. It's like you're walking along and say, what do you think, God? Because we don't have names. None of us have a name. People say, well, why does the archangels have a name? Right? Arya, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel. Why do they have names? Well, because our society, because of being in physical material realm, life, we give everything a name. You ever notice that? We label everything, give everything a name. But in the truest form of the gods that we are, we don't have names. So you say, God, what do you think we should do here? And you got to be in the heart mind. What do you think we should do here? And you will know. You'll know. But what goes on top of that is you build confidence in yourself, faith, and trust. If you don't have those, it's futile. It really is. It's futile. And this sets the whole path that we're on to a completely new level of understanding. And really look at that. You're connected to everything. You see, people will say, well, let's have the archangels come in and the seraphim and the cherubims and you're already in. You're already connected to all of them. It's kind of redundancy to ask them to come in when they're already in. You are them and they are you. It's really empowering. It's a whole different comprehension, understanding that you experience to know that it's endless. You have so many options and avenues to communicate with and to interact with that it's almost mind-boggling. How many of us do you believe know that? Really, truly. How many of us really know that and embrace it? It's like someone asks you and says, who do you go to when you need help in this life? Who do you communicate with? And your gateway is the God that you are, which opens you up to everything. Talk about having an army. The amount of numbers that we all are part of are endless. And there's different perspectives. They've experienced different things when they were in physical material world, and they have a massive amount of understanding. And see, when you realize that you're not separate from anything, it's huge, huge. It's like you can always say, hey, Raphael, Archangel Raphael, could you help me out here? I need to have you, which is actually you, the God that you are, right? Need to have you saturate, flood, and permeate my physical, biological body, head to toe, inside and out, with your omnipotently powerful emerald green flaming healing light. Now, this is a mantra that you can use on your body, but remember, not in the head, but in the now. Focusing on your breath, being in the now. And now the mantra goes something like, it goes like this. You say, dear Archangel Raphael, I ask that you tend me now. And that you flood, saturate, and permeate my physical, biological body, head to toe, inside and out. Every square inch, every molecule, every cell, every quantum particle, every atom. And you say, commencing now. And I would like you to do this every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll always end it in thank you, thank you, thank you. You do this in the morning. You do it at night before you go to sleep. You'd be amazed how your body will feel. But if you do it through the ego mind, zilcho. Nothing. Zilcho. Period. Another mantra that you can use is this one. I deeply and eternally love you, universe. I deeply and eternally love, and your name, okay? So you say, I deeply and eternally love you, when whatever your name is. I deeply and eternally love you, body, meaning your body, your physical material body. I deeply and eternally love the God that you are within that body. And you deeply and eternally love Source Creator. And then you end it by saying, I deeply and eternally love you all. We are all one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are very powerful mantras. I use them every day, morning, noon, and night. All the time. I am very careful to not execute this in the ego mind. Because I've learned that through the ego mind, you might as well just say, forget it. Because it gets so misconstrued and things start coming in here and there, and you end up blocking everything. And you don't do it on purpose, but the ego mind has that propensity to cause that. So this is where we practice constantly, and the heart-mind. And those mantras are very powerful. They cover a lot of things. And then you go through anywhere from 6, 9, 18, 21 times. And you say, I'm of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, deep, eternal gratitude. And you say it over and over again. You say it's a mantra. You say it 21 times. I say it 21 times. I say that in the morning and at night before I go to bed. Repetitive. Through the heart-mind. You'd be amazed on how that assists you. The whole point of this is that we begin to understand all aspects and facets of who and what we are, but we don't utilize that and we don't access it. We really don't. We don't use it. We go into the physical material where we suffer. Yesterday and tomorrow. We do. And we don't know why. Most of us don't know why. But once you start identifying, well, this is the ego mind's realm. This is not where I care to be. I do not care to be in yesterday or tomorrow. I want to be in the now. This is the only thing we know is the now. We don't know yesterday. We don't know tomorrow. And now can you understand how many people live that way, exist that way, by living in yesterday and tomorrow? You could be in the course of your day, right? And then say, you wander off. You wander off into tomorrow. And the moment you're in the now is today. It's now. But we wander off of that into tomorrow. And we start saying to ourselves, I got to do this tomorrow, this tomorrow, this tomorrow. But we're not even finished with the now and the day we're in. So you use those mantras because through repetitiveness, because that's what it takes, over and over and over again, before you start accepting who and what you are. One thing to say you know who and what you are. Another thing is to accept it through the heart-mind. And this is really impactful on discovery in the direction of who and what we are. When you actually have reached that understanding fully, then you begin to explore it. Your suffering days are over. They're over. Doesn't it make sense? We stay in the now. We practice, practice, practice. We stay in the now. So we have access to all the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, all of them, at any time we choose. Doesn't have to. It's not a special occasion. It's any time we choose. And most of us are preoccupied. We don't go there. We don't focus there. And believe you me, the power that you are in that body, you have endless power. You could totally regenerate your body, everything. But the civilization doesn't know how to do that yet. Because why? Because it doesn't have confidence, trust, and faith in itself. That's your key right there. To understand and to embrace confidence, trust, and faith in yourself. How are you going to interact with others or situations or anything in this life with low trust, low confidence, and low faith in yourself? Tough, right? Tough. That's a toughie. Well, how do you do that? People say, well, how do you do that? How do you build confidence if you've been beaten down your whole life? You go to the understanding of who and what you are. Omnipotently powerful, supreme being, manifesting magnet. It never dies. You're invincible. You don't die. You leave the body, you choose, you enter another one. You keep experiencing things for eons. You got to admit, it's quite fascinating for us, right? We get in one of these bodies, and we begin to learn who and what we are. So we can differentiate between what? Between who we really are, what we are, and the out there, physical material world that we have chosen to participate with. It's like, okay, so you leave the body, okay, done with that. Right? And deep gratitude for that. And then you move on. Eventually, believe it or not, that's how it's going to get. And on top of it, we will begin to experience waves of appreciation and gratitude, peace, tranquility, benevolence, bliss, joy, happiness, humbleness, generosity, kindness. All this is who you really are in that body. And by being there now, you won't have a care in the world. And a lot of people say, well, that's irresponsible. Well, why is it irresponsible? Some people choose to just have all these problems and issues and everything. You come along and you're footloose, fancy-free. You don't look at life as really very serious at all. You look at life as kind of a playground for yourself, and you enjoy it. And see, then you start to tap into things. Let's say that you get these rushes, right? We all get these. They come in, and you get flushed, and it's like a worry and a stress. Well, what if this happens, or this happens, or this happens? How am I gonna operate, or how are things gonna work? Or if you're low on money, and you say to yourself, you can take two tracks with this. You could embrace the ego mind's direction by saying, woe is me, and have a pity party for yourself, and then you sit there and you bring all that energy in from this universe. This is powerful stuff. This is not light stuff. This is very powerful. It's enlightening. And so you bring all this stuff, all this pity party stuff in, because you're manifesting it. So what you're focused on. Instead, you shift gears and say, no, I don't care to participate in the pity party. I'm going to focus on what I want. I'm going to focus on my breath, go into the now, and focus on my breath, and then I'm going to put it out to the universe. When you see people, right, and you say, wow, you say, so I wish they had their money, or I wish I had their fame, or I wish I had their exposure, blah, and their popularity, all that stuff. And have you come across people that are very carefree? They just float. They're not glued to things. And they're just like free floating, and they don't seem to be distressed about anything, that they're just joyous and happy to have a life, a physical, material life. So remember, we create and focus on what we don't want. Isn't that right? That's what we do. And we're constantly emitting frequencies. Because we're like this on overdrive manifesting machines, and we're constantly doing it. And I can guarantee you that whatever you focus on for any period of time, any length of period of time, it's going to come. It's going to appear. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But see, many of us are not conscious about that. So when it does come in, we're blown away. We're blown away. Have you ever been in a situation where maybe for one day everything just fell into place for you? No matter what you did, it was just there in your lap, given to you? Imagine being in that state always. Imagine being in that state always. This is our ultimate direction. And as you choose to stay in a higher vibrational harmonics frequency with and for yourself, it's crucial. You could call upon the entire angelic kingdom and at your side. You could call on all the ascended masters, many of who we are not aware of, to be at your side. A lot of people have a difficult time with experiencing that or believing it because they're so locked into their ego minds and not their heart minds. Heart minds, no-brainer. You call upon all of them to join you now, in this very moment. And with it less than a blink of the eye, they're there. You'll ask them, what do you think, guys? You think I should do this? You'll get a feeling. As long as you're in the heart mind, not the head. You'll get a signal. It's like, should I buy this used vehicle? It's newer than the one I have, and I'm really interested in it. Right? And you'll get this feeling. And you really want to get it. So in your heart mind, you ask, you think I should get this? Is this a sound decision? And then you get this premonition, well, I'm going to see if they'll let me take it to my mechanic. You say to them, do you mind if I take this to my mechanic? And unless they're hiding something, most of them won't mind that. So you take it to your mechanic says, I wouldn't buy this because you've got some costs that will be coming up that will drain your pocketbook because these are not inexpensive fixes or repairs on it. It could be an engine issue. It could be a transmission issue. It could be electric issue. You don't know. So that answers it. Because you asked, you received, and your confidence in that vehicle wasn't high. You just had this, you received this feeling, and so you check it out, and the next thing you know, you're really happy that you didn't commit to it. And see, you're drawing upon who and what you really are in that body, not the body, not the ego mind at all. So you're drawing on that. You're really asking the God that you are about things. What would you do in this situation? Then you say how you got yourself in that situation. And it'll come. It'll absolutely come to you. Geez, I actually did manifest this. Wow. Isn't that interesting? And, you know, another thing, we do not have, this is a kicker for a lot of people. They have a difficult time with it. We have no enemies. You know why? Because we manifest everything that we experience. If you're experiencing something tumultuous, you created it. And see, that teaches us things. It teaches us that everything in our lives we created. Now, sometimes, you know, you get people saying, well, you know, there's always some surprises. Sure there is. We create those too. We just don't know it. How would you be in the event that you fully embraced and understood that you were this magnificently supreme, powerful, manifesting being? How would you operate? You know that you knew that deep inside, and you resided in the now with the God that you are. Have you ever been doing something, okay, and for some reason you're pursuing something, you're really trying to get a hold of something, right? And no matter what you do, it seems to it's pulled away from you. Obstacles come up, take your time, intervene, and cause you to fade from it or distance yourself from it. You ever had that? And you say to yourself, and then a lot of people will say this, well, it must not be meant to be if it's just difficult for me to even get close to it. Who do you think, or what do you think is blocking you from it? Causing all these obstacles to come up and appear and everything? You are. Isn't that right? We do this. We go, you can't figure this out. Why is this so difficult? Because you're creating the difficulty. Because you don't let go of what you want. You grip onto it tighter and tighter and tighter. But when you let go of it, or a relaxed grip on it, let it do its own thing, because you've already manifested it. You just don't know it. It's already here. And that covers everything all across the board. Now, look at that resource that we all have. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? You literally can call on all the realms because you're part of all the realms. You, the God, and that body, the pure consciousness. Whatever you want to label it. And you can communicate with all of them. You don't. It's not like you've got to go and sit on a mountain with a guru and study for 40 years. You just know it. You do it. You have faith, trust, and confidence in yourself and this universe. So you put it out there in the now, and you're going to get it. You don't even have to bat an eye. It's a done deal. It's starting to materialize. Now, see, the ego mind tells us, oh, no, forget about that. It's not going to work, okay? You're make-believing, you're pretending, it's wishful thinking, and just stop it. It's not going to work. And a lot of us listen to that. But then some will say, oh, no, I'm not interested in what the ego mind has to say. So in this quiet time and meditation, realize that. Contemplate it. Focus on it. The mantras I've shared with you. knowing that you can access all of the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphims, and the angels in general, all the ascended masters, all the golden, white, pink light of deep, pure, eternal love that you can possibly desire, everything. And the more we practice it, and we know the direction. See, we know that, no, I'm not going to step into the ego mind. I don't care to. I'm going to be in the heart mind. You'll know the difference. You'll notice that the chatter's gone. You'll notice that the worry, stress, and fear and anxieties are gone. You'll know it. Now imagine before you even entered that state that you were pretty much anxiety, stress-free, and body totally relaxed, and then you enter that state through the breath. Absolutely magna glorious. Because the key for all of us is to relax these bodies, to sink into them deeply. And many of us have a very tough time with that because of our lack of confidence, faith, and trust in ourselves and the universe. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. You are like a long, peaceful river that flows swift and true. You are like a fathomless ocean, deep, powerful, and healing too. You are the wind whispering in the pine trees on a warm summer night. Your divine nature is found in everything, filling everyone with beams of light. Now that you have a better idea of who you really are, have fun. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning. We will return here Friday, October 20, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, for our global guided meditation call, and around 9 p.m. Eastern for our reverse aging health call. This one is going to be a super powerful one. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, eternal, purest of the purest purest gratitude. No matter what's going on around you or within you.